with this world. Yeah. All alone, no watchtower. Everybody sing. All alone, oh, yeah, no watchtower. But I show and tell, I can't keep standing here all by myself.
Joining me is a very special guest. Henri Brown is an established singer, songwriter, record producer, and he's here today to talk about his successful music career and more. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Christine. It's nice to be here.
How are you?
I think I look good and I feel good and I feel great. I'm blessed.
Yes, and I wanted to say you're also an actor.
Yes.
So here we are at the BC Sports Hall of Fame, and I wanted to first ask you, when did your passion for music begin?
Wow. Very young. I had music and arts and theater in my family since I was a young kid. So it really was one of those things that was reared very young into my system. My mother was an actor. Her sister was a singer. You know, my cousins were all singers. So it's like it was easy for me just to kind of fall in. You know.
It's like you were born in
I
entertainment
guess
world.
I couldn't fight it.
Yes.
I had to jump in.
Jump
The
in.
water's nice. Jump in, they say.
But when was your first bite that you said, I want to be a musician?
I think I was probably 6 years old or something when my mother used to take me to shows, so I got to see Ray Charles, Little Richard, The Temptations, The Fifth Dimensions, Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, I got to see all of these entertainers at a young age because my mother used to take me to all these shows at the Cave. So when I saw that, I was like, I want this.
So,
Give me some of that, please.
So tell us about the Cave.
The Cave was like probably one of the coolest entertainment spots in the city. They had all of these amazing, artists coming up from the U.S. to do these shows, and it was like a supper club. So my mother was able to bring me as well.
Oh.
So it didn't, it didn't matter that I was underage. So it was cool. And she was like, well, I want to see these shows. So that little nappy head boy we better bring him with us,
But were you 15 when you started playing the bass guitar?
I was. Yeah, I started playing about 14 or 15, and I started on drums first.
Mm.
I wanted to be a drummer. My guy was Buddy Miles. He played with Jimi Hendrix, and he was my idol. I mean, I loved him. He sang and he played, and then I started, packing drums up, and I thought, nah, this is too much. And when you play the drums, you're kind of in the back. I didn't want to be in the back.
You want to be in the front.
I mean, I don't want to say it like that, sounds kind of terrible, but I don't want to be in the back. I want to be up front so I can do my thing. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm sorry. Yes.
But you knew that you
I
wanted
did.
to
I knew when I was a young kid that this is what I was going to do. My whole life I didn't have to think, oh, what should I be? I knew the industry of entertainment was my place to live.
And so you come from a very supportive background, and when was your first performance?
I think I was about 8 or 9, maybe not even, maybe 7 or 8. My mother was doing a play in the city at the Arts Club Theater back then, and it was A Raisin in the Sun. And I was young, so I used to go to all the rehearsals because, we didn't have no nannies and babysitters back then, So I used to go to all the rehearsals. So I guess in the back of my mind, I learned all the parts for the young kid that was playing the part. And then something happened where that kid got sick or couldn't make it. And I said, I know the lines, I can do it. And they're like, what? My mother's like, boy, you can't even read. How you gonna, I said, I got the lines. I know everybody's lines, And sure enough, I got to do the play.
And that's when your acting bug.
Yes, I said, I told you, whether it's acting or music, to me, it's under the umbrella of entertainment. And so I didn't really care what it was. If I got to act, it's great. If I got to sing, it's great. If I got to play, it's all in part and parcel for me.
So when did you, your first professional performance?
Oh boy, that's a good one. I think I was probably 18 or 19 when when I got in my first band, and we started playing gigs, and that was I was in heaven, right? They actually paid me money to sing and play some music. Oh my God, really? So.
What did it feel like when your first professional
Well,
performance? It was.
I mean, I think at those times where there were like some like hotel gigs or whatever, and you play like 6 nights a week, so you really get a chance to kind of get in there and dig for the week. So it was exciting just to see people dancing and having a great time to what you're bringing them, right? So you get to play music and singing, and people are like, oh yeah, yeah, and they're partying and dancing, and that's it's a great feeling always. I mean, I don't think there's an entertainer in the world that won't tell you that they love to see the people enjoying, them do their work. That's.
So tell us, the music scene back then.
I mean, the city was vibrant and on fire. Like, I mean, I came up, so it was the early 80s, so like 1979 to 80s, there was, in Vancouver, there was a club in every nook and cranny that you could play in, and you played 5 or 6 nights a week. So I didn't leave Vancouver for about 7, 8 years straight because every week I had a gig. And sometimes I just have to, I had to block out a little bit of time just to take off because it was that much work. I could have worked, 52 weeks a year, but I said,
And there was the Cave, right?
No, but that was after.
Okay.
Yeah, so by the time I started playing music, the Cave and all those wonderful clubs were gone.
Wow.
Yeah, there was Izzy Supper Club, there was the Cave, there was a bunch of clubs that, I guess our parents' generation, they got to see all that stuff. I just happened to be lucky enough that my mother brought me to those shows, but yeah, by the time I got up, they were almost gone, yeah, which is a shame. I didn't get a chance to actually perform there myself, so.
But you got to feel it, right?
I sure did, I sure did, and many entertainers, yeah.
So tell us about your first album, HB Concept?
Yeah, I did that, I think it was, when 1979, 1980, I had written a song, and it was, I guess it was my first 2 songs I've ever written, and I recorded them. So
yes.
it was. Do we have to say the title of this song? It was called "Give Me Them Drawers."
Give me your drawers.
Give me them drawers. Give me them drawers. I ain't coming back no more. Yeah, it was bad. It was crazy, but And then there was another song that's sort of like, I guess, the title track of the because we did at that time we did a 12-inch single, and the flip side was a song that was called "I Don't Want to Be Alone," and it had a little tear coming down my eye, and it was all sensitive looking, and I had my little fro, and it was kind of cute and everything, but.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how did you come up with the HB Concept?
I don't think it was me. I think it was the manager that I had at the time was Jason Hoover, and he was an icon in this city for many years back in the day, and his wife was the one that said Henri Brown, so HB Concept. I think she's the one her name was Sharon. I think she was the one who actually came up with the title. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go with that.
And it's been going strong.
And then I think I retired it when was it? Probably in the late 90s, So for the 2000s, I retired the name. And I was down in San Francisco with, one of our most amazing producers. He I think to this day, he still has more #1 hits than any other producer on the planet. His name is Narada Michael Walden. And he's the one that goes, I think you need to change the name. Henri Brown, HB Concept, it ain't got the same spaz. I think HB Wild would be a lot better. I was like, yeah, okay. HB Wild it is. And that's what it's been since.
And your initials.
Thank you, Nada, for that one. I owe you, man. I owe you, man. I really do.
But I like your initial HB.
Yeah.
Too. It's, so tell us about some of your influences, like Buddy Miles, right?
Yeah. He was the singing drummer. I mean, he sang like a lead singer, except he was playing the drums. So I was like, wow, that's, I always wanted to be the singer, but, playing drums. So there wasn't many guys who were playing drums and singing like that. I mean, it's Phil Collins, and but Buddy was the guy I first got introduced and saw and got a chance to meet, and him and Jimmy were great friends, and they played together. And so I guess in 1996, I got a chance to produce his album.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, when you produce your hero, you feel like you've arrived. And we did some great songs, and it was a blast because the guy could sing anything. It doesn't matter what it was. If it was Mary Had a Little Lamb, it sounded great. You know what I mean? He could sing anything and everything, and it was really a wonderful experience to be able to have that much time with him, to work with him and write songs with him, and yeah, it was cool. It was great.
Well, tell us about the process of producing.
I think my perception and idea of the producer is you're actually supposed to be able to take the artist, find out where they live, and then enhance that. Some people come to the producer for that producer sound, and that's cool as well. But when you have an artist like a Buddy Miles, who's an established artist, he's got a style and a flavor. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the album that I did with him, I did have some influence musically and lyrically on some of the tunes, but basically I'm really in my head, I'm thinking that I'm channeling what I think he would like, and that's I think that's the producer's job, is to be able to get that artist and get the best out of that artist, something that the artist can't get out of themselves.
Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind running around. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. That's all she ever thinks about. Riding with the wind. Better wing, you gotta fly. Oh, said you're flying away.
You are a visionary. You can see what works. And
Yes, and that's why a lot of artists go to producers to help them, enhance what they already have. They already have this great thing, singer-songwriter might be singing a song and let somebody like, a David Foster or somebody come in and go, hey, let me just take that up a couple notches for you, and then you have some magic. You brought this artist that already had something that you liked, and you took that piece of the stuff and brought it to another level, and you come up with some magic,
Yes.
The team.
And you do produce magic. I mean, you're multi-talented. You're a record producer, singer, songwriter, and actor. Is there one that you prefer, or do they all help each other? Transferable
It's that
skills?
umbrella, right? It's that big thing called entertainment.
Yes.
And for me, it's like, reality is as an entertainer or as a musician or as an actor, as we all know, that the jobs don't come flowing in all the time. So if I'm going after movies and trying to get those next parts in the movies and doing all these auditions, I could be a little hungry. So then I can go play music. So if the music's not working, I'll go do some acting. If the acting's not working, I'll go do some producing. If the producer's not working, I gotta wear some hats just so I can keep the lights on at home.
Yes, but it takes a special person to do all these skills, and it's your calling. We talk about being born in the entertainment world. Indeed.
I mean, if it is a calling, I'm grateful and thankful. And if it's out of necessity, because I have to keep eating and keep the lights on and keep my family fed, and I'm able to take that challenge, then I'm glad for that as well. Yeah, I love it. It's like, after I finish with you, I'm going right back to the studio and finish a new record. And I'm so excited, like it's the first record I've ever recorded,
Well, tell us about that.
I actually took some of the songs that I produced for other artists, like the Buddy Miles songs and stuff, and I started doing them live in my show, and I went, you know what? I kind of like this. Let me go and record these live with my band, and that's what we did. So we did a bunch of tunes that I recorded for different artists, and some of the tunes that I did for myself way back when, that we do live in a show, and then we put together sort of this live with some studio stuff CD, and
It's magic.
whoo! Said, I love the way you make me feel. It's like magic to me. Oh,
Keep going.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I even can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
So you've been in the music industry for a long time. How has it changed now until the present?
Vancouver, for me, I can say like in the 80s was on fire. There was many gigs, there was all kinds of stuff going on. They had TV shows you could do, they had like these things called Fame Game, Rock Wars. They had all these competitions on TV way before like American Idol and all this stuff. And CBC had these shows, and we were able to participate in all those things, and I was getting a lot of, offers to do music for television shows and movies. So the 80s here in Vancouver was on fire.
And that was
Now things are still there, but there's no more 6 days a week gigs. No, that's long gone.
And that's why being multi-talented as you are.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's why I had to learn these other things and do these other things so that I could keep going.
Yes, and HB Concept was actually on CBC. Wasn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
West Coast.
We did the first one was called the Fame Game.
Yes.
And we won that, and we were able to make it happen, and they gave us our own half-hour TV special. It was great. It was great. It was cool because the judges at that time were, your big guys, your Bruce Allen and Terry David Mulligan and all these guys, and they were like, no, you got the stuff, and I was like, wow, that's great.
Bubble haze all in my brain. Lately things don't seem the same. Acting funny, but I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Bubble haze is all around. Don't know if I'm coming up or down. Am I happy or in misery? Whatever it is, that girl, she put a spell on me.
You know what? We want to keep talking because there's
Yes.
so much to talk about, so we're going to stop and we're going to go to part 2, so stay tuned.
Everything is gonna be alright. Alright. Everything is gonna be alright. This is a night of all nights. I'm gonna make you my lover. Come with me and you will see the light. You will see what we've discovered. Now and then I get uptight and you say everything is alright. There comes a time in every man's life he's gonna do what he feels is right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. So good, so good. You know I love you, know I need you, girl. I need you more in the worst way. Maybe we can find a way to come together on a special day. Here I am, so full of life. do something. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. Thinking of the troubles of today. Is it easier to put that gun away? Or is it difficult and stop and show the world you care? Everything and everyone we know is beautiful. Surely you'll be the guiding light to save us all. Maybe we can be the vision of a popping man's dream. 'Cause we are